Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I am Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another Women of Horror Spotlight. Today I have with us, she's a director, and she has a short film up on YouTube right now, and it's called This Dinner Will End. I have with us Madison Lorente. Madison, welcome to the Horror Room.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure having you on. So tell everyone about This Dinner Will End.
This Dinner Will End is just a sort of campy film. Takes place in the 70s, and it's about this disheveled guy. He's kind of going through a rough time with his friend group, and all of a sudden he makes a heinous mistake of making mustard gas, and a 50s ghost appears and starts to do some crazy stuff at a dinner party he's having to rekindle his friendship with his friends.
Now, this is a incredible, story. It's out of the ordinary and a little wacky and zany. What gave you the inspiration?
Honestly, during the course of last summer, a bit before then, I was just kind of having fun listening to 70s music. I had recently rewatched Clue, and I was originally interested in making maybe like a mystery murder kind of dinner film. Mm-hmm. But it sort of just transpired. One day I'm playing D&D with my friends at the house in the film, and I see my friend Olivia walking around the house, and she has very long hair. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, she's kind of like a ghost. And I was in the middle of like figuring out like what this short film could be. I wanted to do something over the summer just to keep on practicing filmmaking. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wait, what if I add a ghost to this film? And Olivia is the person who portrays Cecilia in the film. And it just kind of kept on going as I was finding my friends. And I was just like, okay, we actually got something kind of cooking here. Took a few iterations of the story. But at the end, we kind of just like the campiness of it all, of the crazy lines that the characters say. There's a ghost that only one person can see. And she's just causing all of this wrecking havoc. It just became something so fun. The more like we all just kind of were riffing on it as we were talking about it before the screenplay was done.
Now, who did the practical effects? It is a gnarly fork in the face kill.
That would have been me as well. Really? I love doing everything. That was something I've done blood and like hard bruises and stuff before, but I saw a plastic fork on my desk while I was on a FaceTime call with Aiden. He plays, losing his name right now, but he plays the character with the fork through his face.
Yes.
And I was like, wait a minute. What if I just break that fork, put it through his mouth? Because it's a dinner party. What's a good dinner party without a good stabbing?
Exactly, you know? Right?
I use shea butter and lotion to make it stick. And then my friend struggled to cut with a Dremel tool, an actual fork, but we put that in his mouth, patted the end so it wasn't sharp, and added some blood, and that was the whole thing. Yeah.
And the other thing I love about the short film was the score. It definitely had like a jazzy vibe to it. Now, was that original music?
Yes. So since this was just like a student production with no profit, we did use 2 songs just as under like the education, like copyright bylaws. Mm-hmm. But the rest of the score that wasn't by Eddie Gourmet or Electric Light Orchestra, that score was also made by me. So during like the sequence with Estefani and the monologue music, and just a little bit of the other short scores throughout the film, that was me on my piano I'm looking at right now.
That's absolutely amazing. And now, one thing I have to say, so with this movie, the characters, some of them are kind of like assholes, and there's a monologue about assholes in the beginning as well.
Yes.
Now, when you were creating characters, were you like, damn, let me make these as asshole-ish as possible?
Yeah, so there's characters like Stevie where I kind of always wanted Stevie to be just very like ego-filled, and like I was in the theater. You guys might have seen my name around. I've been busy. That's why I haven't been able to hang out with you guys. My friends kind of added, I was like, can you guys just like improv in this scene? And Jennifer, played by my friend Grace with the red curly hair, they somehow made her be like a bit ditzy kind of a character. But she's also, because it takes place during the 70s, she's like a Soviet spy. There was a little bit of that too that they added to it. Taylor, played by my friend Tav, I wrote such sassy one-liners, and I'm just like, perfect. Like sassy, cold, straight to the point, and blunt. Ross, he's supposed to be like the straight man in the whole situation. He's just like, what's happening here? You guys are all kind of crazy. Yeah. Calvin was always like disheveled, arrogant, like that. It was always kind of like that, because I think that's kind of fun, seeing just like a friend group who shouldn't probably be friends interacting.
No, not at all.
Funny scenarios to happen.
Now, have you always been a horror fan?
I've always just loved like a plethora of horror. As a kid, I loved like horror animated movies like Coraline. There's one called Nine as well from 2009. Leica movies and stuff like that too. As I grew older, I got into like slashers, like the Scream series. I love the Carrie films. Like I just love all different types of horror.
Now, was it tough to jump into the horror industry, I should say, and make a horror film?
Yeah, coming from before this, I have done some student projects. I've done more documentary-esque things, or like professional videos, and I had done a crime drama before this, and this was just very out of the ordinary for me to do, but I was like, it's summer, I have a fun group of friends, I think we can make this happen. And it was cool seeing it. Originally, like I said earlier, it was supposed to be like a murder mystery dinner at first, but it was cool seeing it take this like paranormal effect with Cecilia being a ghost. And then once we started adding like the stabbings and like the VFX and stuff like that, I was like, I didn't know I wanted it to be like this, but I'm so happy this is where we ended up at.
Now, was it your intentions to have the audience thinking the whole entire time, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, where's this going?
Yeah, it was kind of supposed to, like, Cecilia kept on leading on Calvin throughout the film, and just like, you know what? Go ahead. All your friends are assholes. Just kill them all off. Get rid of all of them. Be done. It was always supposed to be like, wait, what? Oh, wait. Oh, we're going here. Oh, now we're jumping here. Oh, she's in the bathtub with a toaster.
With a fucking toaster, I know. because I was like, and while I was watching it, I was like, oh, I think it's going this way, but it can't be going that way. Oh, it's not. Okay, it's not going that way. Oh, no, it is fucking going this way. I was like, okay, shit, okay. Like, because it does seem like a murder mystery. It does have this murder mystery aspect to it, almost like a whodunit, what's going on, and it quickly turns into horror like that.
Yeah. No, I loved playing with the themes and just like writing it in general. How the beginning of the film, you kind of have like the inciting events of just like two characters just so happening to meet across worlds. And then you're going into just like a subdued, like, okay, we're getting to know the crowd of people, our characters. And then just at like a flip of a switch, it goes to that flashback. And it's just like, oh, wait a minute. Something was always a little bit suspicious here. And there it is. And there it is.
Now, when you were coming up with this idea for the film, were you always planning on making a short film, or at some point were you thinking, oh, this might make a great full feature?
It was always just kind of meant to be a short film. I had done something earlier that year that was like the biggest thing I had done ever. And I had graduated high school last year. And so going from high school to now I'm just a community college student, so I'm able to stay home and spend my resources and time doing other things. I knew that summer I had the chance to do something. So I just was throwing so many ideas. I have like a list of random things. I was just like, let me find something. And originally, like, I had like the little Clue whodunit mystery dinner, and it just transpired into something greater and bigger. I don't personally have the resources at that time to take it to like a film festival or like a feature film. But I would have always like loved to see like a longer version. Like with all my projects, I'm always like, it would be cool to see like a feature length someday. Like this is just like the concept.
Now, after having a taste in horror, do you think that you're going to stay in horror and perfect your skills in horror, or do you seem like to be the kind of filmmaker that's going to bounce around and try out different things?
I find myself bouncing around, but I don't see myself never not returning to it. Currently, right now, I'm doing a prequel to a project from last year, and that's still a crime drama. And that's dealing with some themes that my friend and I want to explore that not that they wouldn't fit in a horror genre, but it just feels more appropriate in a crime drama setting. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of my stories feature death, personally because of like my own personal stuff with it. So as a joke, we're always like, my friend's like, Madison, you should do a comedy or like a rom-com. Just keep it a little lighthearted. And this little end had a little bit of that. I'm like, yeah, I wanted to. That was the original point. And then it just it just kind of went in that direction.
Now, how long did it take you from, writing the script or the concept to the movie to actually the actual production?
I believe it was about basically straight after I graduated. I graduated June 10th. June 17th, I start writing ideas. By about July 17th, we have the final screenplay. And I had my cast already. It was a bunch of my friends from different parts of my life. And we were able to meet before then, hang out, get to know each other. We had our table read on July 21st. July 22nd. We watched Barbenheimer as a group.
Great.
Then July 29th and 30th, we filmed over the course of one weekend. And then after that, I spent time doing a rough cut, and then I edited the film, and it came out November 24th. So it was about like a little 5-month process there.
Yeah, because I personally, after watching the movie, I would love to see like a long form of this movie, because I shouldn't say this, but I love to see like assholes or pricks like get their due, and like especially in a horror movie or no movie in general.
In general,
yes, in general, I love seeing karma in full effect.
Yeah, no, definitely throughout high school and stuff like that. I'm just like, dang, you know what? I see why. This is where the film went. This is just like my personal retribution. I'm like, I'll let it all air out in this one character.
Yes, because we all even have those friends that you're like, wow, you're so fucking annoying.
Yeah,
but you're my friend.
Yeah.
So what was the first horror movie that you saw that like really scared the shit out of you? That you were like, oh, this really got me into horror.
Oh man, very good question. I will say not a horror movie, but the movie that first scared me as a kid, Rango with Johnny Depp. That thing opened up its eyes, scared the shit out of me. I was done. Turn off the movie. Ran and hid underneath the desk in my bedroom. My parents were like, Madison, what's wrong? But there was, I think I was like 10, and there was like a Day of the Dead remake that was like a made-to-TV kind of movie. It was like 2016 it came out or something. And it was playing on my TV on cable, and I turned it on. It was like zombies and stuff. That's another thing. I love zombie media. I'm surprised I never mentioned that. Korean zombie media too. Wow.
Oh, but Korean zombie is amazing.
That's a whole other story. But yeah, I was like, oh, so that's what this could be. There's also some animes I've watched like as a kid too that had some horror elements in it. Losing track of every single thing I've ever watched. Of course, whenever anyone asks a question like that, I'm like, oh, I know, forget it all.
On the spot.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's absolutely amazing. Like, I've been a horror fan ever since I was 5 years old. I'm a huge horror fan, and like, I give props to like, and that's why I do what I do. I love interviewing horror creators because I couldn't do it myself. Like, I mean, to come up with a creative idea like you have for a horror film, is like it's incredible because yes, you could have easily went the normal cookie cutter way of just doing a slasher with a mask on, but you put out an idea that I don't think I've seen before.
Yeah, no, that was definitely one of my favorite parts because I feel like there's always certain tropes of monsters, whether it's like a slasher killer, a Frankenstein, a ghost, or something like what we did. I found myself in just a unique position with a unique time period, a unique group of people that I got together, and it truly just became something so cool. My friend Olivia, who plays Cecilia, like she took that character over the top because she does like a transatlantic accent throughout the film, and she has that 50s energy to her. Like
Yes,
she
and the
is
look.
like ethereal, and she's just like she brought that to life on her own in a beautiful way. And like it makes me so happy that like my cast was able to achieve a story like that, and that I was able with my friend like we're able to figure out like, whoa, this is something new that we haven't done before. And it's crazy. Like our inspirations for the film went from like Jennifer's body to Heather's. Like it was jumping around everywhere where we were like, hey, kind of pulling from this because I would put together like all my films I do, I put slideshows together and it'll be like, here's your character traits, basic character arc, some pieces of inspiration for your character, whether it's songs. For them, I did characters. I done like a JD and Veronica kind of dynamic with Calvin and Cecilia. They took like little parts of each other though, where it's like JD and Heather's would be like, hey, we should kill all of the assholes in this high school. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
And Veronica's like, okay, let's do this, I guess. Oh, whoa, wait a 1 minute. It came from places I wasn't even horror that inspired this story.
Yeah, I mean, because because that's the scarier part about it. Like now, going to somebody's house for a fucking dinner, I'm like, are they going to try to poison me or murder me with their fucking food? That's real life shit. I mean, that's real life. You might be eating food from someone who fucking hates you, and once you're dead.
That's why we don't trust no food from no one's home sometimes. Like,
Especially
potluck situation, like I have to have been to your house before to know, okay, I'm in good hands.
But not only that, though, like even eating like potlucks at work with me, I'm like, does this person fucking hate me or dislike me? Or like
The scene in The Help where she's like, eat my
exactly. What if this person hates everybody they fucking work with? Surprise! You're gonna get a shit sandwich or something,
Oh man. Yeah, there were so many little funny bits that we threw into the film. We were like, what if these two characters just hate each other for no reason? Taylor's just always just like being a little bitch to Jennifer. Or like the whole fork stabbing moment. We're just like, let's just go there. We're already there. Why not just get to the point?
You bring up Jennifer's body. Everybody keeps. I have not seen Jennifer's body, and I don't know why. I just haven't forced myself to watch it. But like everybody keeps telling me, like, dude, you need to watch Jennifer's Body. It's such a great horror movie. I'm like, really? I don't know why. I thought it was like a teen.
Yeah, it was kind of advertised like that with Megan Fox being the lead.
Mm-hmm.
As like a 21st century like contemporary reference, like Diablo Cody, like it's not even like one of my favorite movies ever, but just like how she wrote the female character dynamic and just Jennifer feeling just like a goddess of death per se. That was just something new and refreshing that I think took everybody by storm when that film came out. I was too young when it came out, but it was like just something new on the scene. Her new film, Lisa Frankenstein, watched out of my friends here. Diablo Cody, like amazing writer for female horror. She kills it every single time. She knows what she's doing.
So Lisa Frankenstein was good?
Yeah, I personally really enjoyed it.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to put Jennifer's Body and Lisa Frankenstein on my watch list. Okay. All right, so quick question. This is a horror question I'm going to ask you. If somebody came up to you right now and said, what is your two-part question? What is your favorite horror movie of all time, and who's your favorite horror character? Who would it be? Who and what would it be?
Got me in a hard spot, man. You got me in a hard spot. I really like Bong Joon-ho films, and he did The Host. I believe that was like 2007, 2006.
Yes.
It's not even like a traditional horror film. There's so much like family dynamics that occur throughout the film. It's like a broken family, but there's this monster that's just taking over the town. And I don't know, every single time I watch it, just kind of hits. I low-key kind of cry, but I'm also kind of scared, even though I've seen the film before. And I'm like, oh, I know that guy's about to get slammed to the floor by this monster.
Yes. It's an eerie movie. It's an eerie movie.
It definitely is. And again, like Train to Busan, there's a TV show called All of Us Are Dead. I love my Korean zombie stuff. I'm surprised I did not mention that earlier. Favorite horror character? I really like Carrie. I have such a specific, like, the original film, the Brian De Palma film, like it. Missy Spacek, cool, love her. The newer one with her name slipping my head, the 2013 one, that one, cool, stands alone. The 2002 TV movie one, I don't know what it is. I watched that film at a very young age too. I was probably like 10 when I watched that, Carrie. It was on YouTube for free. It stuck with me forever. And I just really liked that interpretation of Carrie for whatever reason. I felt like it was the perfect, like, what's the word? Sheltered kind of kid.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, you know, she does have the chance to not be like that if it wasn't for her mother. The other films I felt like leaned too hard on each side, but I think that was like the perfect middle ground. It was just a made-for-TV movie, so the VFX and everything, it was just like, oh, this is not going to DVD, and it was 2002.
Now, what did you think of Carrie Rage? I think it was called Carrie Rage.
I haven't seen the Rage of Carrie. I haven't seen that, just because it's like weird to watch online and stuff.
That one, I mean, I saw that one. Jeez, I want to say I was in high school. Sure, my age, but and a lot of people didn't like it. I actually liked it. It's a good one. I mean, well, so with all Carrie movies, you're getting to that end scene. You know, that end scene, that's when you know all shit's going to hit the fan, and that's when you're going to get all your gore. That's when all the action happens, and that one definitely didn't let me down at all.
You know, I have yet to see it. I still got to.
Gotta check that one out. Gotta check that out.
For sure.
Okay, Madison, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on auth.burnett on Instagram and authburnett on TikTok and YouTube. Whole bunch of stuff. I'm doing also another new film, And It Begins, on Instagram as well. That's not a horror, but definitely carries some themes. There is, actually, that you bring that up. Earlier, you were saying if I was going to jump back into the genre. The film that I'm writing right now, we just had our table read today. I actually did take elements of horror. There's a scene that's filmed like a thriller horror where two characters like don't know they're in the same space. Then one of them kills the other character. And there's also like a nightmare sequence where it's kind of like a ring girl coming from the TV situation. Mm-hmm. It's a character's like paralysis demon of herself. She has some like internal issues throughout the film, and it kind of like manifests itself. So I realized that's kind of like a horror aspect and just like new projects that I write. I guess it's always going to be there. I just feel like in my head it's not there, but it is. But yeah, no, that's happening as well. Side tangent.
Listen, no, you're fine. Listen, send me over any of your work. I absolutely love your movie, so I'm pretty sure I'll love everything.
Thank you.
Put out there. And listen, everybody, go down into the link in the description box. I have the link to her YouTube page. Go on and watch This Dinner Will End. Madison, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome to come on anytime.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for coming to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce. See you guys next time. Take care.